Kumo DTV, man, back with another one. Right now, we're going to get into how the Justice Department have dropped their claims that, well, I'm not sure if it's Maduro is involved in this cartel or that it might be actually that the cartel is not an actual cartel at all. It's not even a actual real group, or it doesn't have an actual hierarchical structure. That's what a couple of these different videos are saying. So we're gonna get into that right now and see what they're talking about, man. I have two videos here. Hopefully they touch on what the topic is. I mean, their description on Google says it does, but their Facebook description says a little different. But let's see.
Legal authority. President Trump was pretty clear yesterday. He said the United States is going to run Venezuela. Under what legal authority?
Well, first of all, what's going to happen here is that we have a quarantine on their oil. That means their economy will not be able to move forward until the conditions that are in the national interest of the United States and the interest of the Venezuelan people are met. And that's what we intend to do. So that leverage remains, that leverage is ongoing, and we expect that it's going to lead to results here. We're hopeful that it does, positive results for the people of Venezuela, but ultimately, most importantly for us, in the national interest of the United States. We will no longer have, hopefully, as we move forward here, we'll set the conditions so that we no longer have in our hemisphere a Venezuela that's the crossroads for many of our adversaries around the world, including Iran and Hezbollah.
Yeah, I was literally just about to say, they don't like that they're in bed with Iran and Russia. Like, that's what it is. And I mean, they're saying they do business with Hezbollah as well, which sounds kind of funny because are you sure they're not doing business with the Lebanese government and you're just saying Hezbollah to stir up tension? Because, I mean, I could be wrong, but why would Hezbollah be buying oil? Yeah, like why would they be buying oil? I mean, are they like running gas stations? Are they refining oil? Because last time I checked, I'm pretty sure if you just purchase crude oil in the tank, you have to turn it into gasoline. You can't just pump that into your car. So, I mean, are they going through that entire process? I don't know that they would have the time to do that or how beneficial to them it would actually be. That's more of like a government type level thing, but they are a pretty well-organized group, so it's possible, I guess. Oh, geez.
Drug boats is no longer a narco-trafficking. Hezbollah is no longer sending us drug gangs, is no longer sending us drug boats, is no longer a narco-trafficking paradise for all those drugs coming out of Colombia to go in through the Caribbean and towards the United States. And obviously, we want a better future for the people of Venezuela. We want them to have an oil industry where the wealth goes to the people, not to a handful of corrupt individuals and stolen by, pirates all over the world. That's what we're working towards, and we intend to use the leverage we have to help achieve that.
Let me ask the question again. What is the legal authority for the United States to be running Venezuela?
Well, I explained to you what our goals are and how we're going to use the leverage to make it happen. As far as what our legal...
Bro, that doesn't explain your legal authority there. That just explains what you plan on doing and why you're doing it. Oh, man.
Simple. We have court orders. Use the leverage to make it happen. As far as what our legal authority is on the quarantine, I'm very simple. We have court orders. These are sanctioned boats, and we get orders from courts to go after and seize these sanctions. So I don't know, is a court not a legal authority?
Why wasn't congressional authorization necessary?
It wasn't necessary because this is not an invasion. We didn't occupy a country. This was an arrest operation. This was a law enforcement operation. He was arrested on the ground in Venezuela by FBI agents. You can't congressionally notify.
You arrested him, and now you're saying you're going to occupy them. So if you're saying in this statement you need Congress's approval to occupy a nation, and you say we're gonna run Venezuela until they get things figured out or we could sort it for them, that doesn't sound like it's approved by Congress or you even went to Congress at all, because you're just saying you're doing that after you captured one guy and his wife, and none of this was brought up in any congressional hearing or anything like that.
Reasons. Number one, it will leak. It's as simple as that. And number two, it's an exigent circumstance. It's an emergent thing that you don't even know if you're going to be able to do it. We can't notify them we're going to do it on a Tuesday or on a Wednesday, because at some points we didn't know we were going to be able to carry this out. We didn't know if all of the things that had to line up were going to line up at the same time in the right conditions.
It will leak. Well, I mean, it sure did leak, because I saw someone place a bet on Polymarket for $30,000 and they won $400,000. So it definitely leaked without it going to Congress, because that was on Polymarket, and a lot of things like this seem to be on Polymarket lately. But that didn't really answer the question for the topic at hand. Hopefully this one does. The description on Google says it does, but I'm not seeing that here.
We do, and it charges not only Maduro.
You've been looking at all of these charges because they were unsealed earlier today. These are charges that go back to 2020, but now we also have a superseding indictment.
We do, and it charges not only Maduro, but also his wife and son, Gio, with sitting atop a narco-terrorism conspiracy that federal prosecutors here in New York allege put tons of cocaine onto American streets while enriching and corrupting Maduro and his close allies, and at least two of them are charged. And federal prosecutors accuse them of working with some of the most dangerous and violent drug traffickers, including members of the Sinaloa cartel, once run by Joaquin Guzman, known as El Chapo, and the FARC rebels who operated in Colombia, producing a lot of this cocaine. But Gio, ostensibly this was an operation to extract someone like Maduro, who's indicted on all of these charges. But as you heard from President Trump in his remarks a short while ago, it seems he had greater ambitions than just making sure Maduro faced these charges in a New York City courtroom.
And we heard Secretary of State Marco Rubio there at the press conference talk about the fact that it wasn't just the Trump administration, but the Biden administration also had Maduro on a wanted list.
Well, he had been facing these charges since 2020. They've been expanded now. The timeline has caught up to the present day, according to the superseding indictment. So he had been wanted in the United States at least since 2020. Secretary Rubio said it was under President Trump's direction where the U.S. military was finally able to go in and get him. And he said that should send a message to others who may be likewise positioned. The president, though, drew a line against Juan Orlando Hernandez, the former president of Honduras, who faced very similar drug trafficking charges with much of the same language. But he says the Biden administration gave him a raw deal, and that's why Trump decided to pardon Hernandez last November.
Okay. They didn't really answer what the topic at hand is. And I mean, I just find it funny that they have all of this to say about trafficking when, like, our own government kind of made trafficking popular and, you know, possible. The whole Iran-Contra thing, you know. And if you maybe don't know, the CIA trafficked cocaine into this country and had it sold on the streets of Los Angeles and many other cities to get them money so they can go buy arms to fund the Contras in Nicaragua, I believe. Yeah, so I think they bought arms from Iran with the illegal drug money, had those shipped to the Contras, which I believe was in Nicaragua. And This is, let me just, department, what is the exact headline? Justice Department drops. And just so, people don't think that I'm looking for propaganda or I just believe anything from Iran or whatever, New York Times reported this. You have to pay for the New York Times. Yeah, see, they're trying to get me to create an account. Then they're going to be asking for money, subscribe for it. I'm not subscribing to the New York Times, sorry. But same story is on Press TV for free. And this was, supposed to be the meat and potatoes of the story. Those videos, unfortunately, didn't explain anything. But look, the U.S. Justice Department has quietly scaled back its indictment of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, retreating from a central Trump-era claim that he led a drug cartel. The original accusation included in a 2020 grand jury indictment portrayed the Cartel de Los Soles as an organized criminal group allegedly led by Maduro and engaged in large-scale cocaine trafficking. The claim became a central pillar of Washington's pressure campaign against Caracas and was repeatedly cited to justify escalating sanctions and military operations. In July 2025, the U.S. Treasury Department designated the so-called cartel as a terrorist organization, a move later backed by Secretary of State Marco Rubio and former National Security Advisor Robert C. O'Brien. Yet specialists in Latin America, crime and narcotics have long noted that the Cartel de Los Soles is not a verifiable organization, but a slang term coined by Venezuelan media in the 1990s to describe corruption among individual military officials, not a structured cartel. That distinction is now reflected in the revised indictment released after Maduro was kidnapped by the U.S. forces. While it still accuses him of participating in a drug trafficking conspiracy, it drops the claim that the Cartel de Los Soles exists as an actual cartel, redefining it instead as a patronage system and a culture of corruption allegedly fueled by drug profits. So, there you have it. The Justice Department has literally walked back this whole thing, which has been their biggest claim and their biggest reason for even doing this in the first place. Oh, he runs a drug cartel. Cartel de Los Soles. Yeah. And they're sending in Tren de Aragua members and they're trafficking and all of this. It's a non-existent entity. It's not a real thing. It's a slang term. It's something that the people would just call the government officials. So it's not real. So this whole sanctions, military action, these big, shows of force and everything that's been going on surrounding everything you heard about Venezuela has been based on a lie. This was all based on he is the leader of the Cartel de Los Soles, and that's not a real entity. I mean, apparently he was involved in drug trafficking, which they say, I am not working this case or running this case. I don't know if that is 100% a fact. It's very likely, very possible, but innocent until proven guilty, correct? I haven't seen proof of anything, so I'm not just going to say 100% for a fact he's guilty of this, but if he's guilty of this, it's not a cartel he's running. He is just running a drug trafficking operation by himself. Well, not by himself, but it's his operation, which makes it sound a lot less appealing to people's ears. It sounds like it's a lot, a lot smaller of an operation than when you say it's a cartel doing this. And it probably is a lot smaller of an operation than a lot of people think. If it's legitimate, if the claims are legit, he's probably having people, like harvest and make the supply, and having another couple people take it off in boats like you're seeing. I mean, it's not like what's going on in Mexico. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like it's not really on that level of what's going on in Mexico, or maybe what's going on in Colombia. It sounds like a lot smaller operation to me. But we'll look for some more about this in the coming days. This just came across today. I mean, this on the New York Times, it was a couple hours ago. You see on Press TV, it was 1 hour ago. And there's not really any videos on this. I mean, the videos I clicked on was, this one, and it doesn't say, it says something right here in the description, but it's not actually, it's not actually said in the video. Even this one, or that might be the same video, but this one right here too says the Cartel de Los Soles is not a hierarchical group, but an umbrella term. Like, they say that in the description, but it's not mentioned in the video. That's the one we just watched. So I'll check back for this. Kumo DTV everywhere. Kumo Cast on YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe. Go follow. Share the video. I'm out of here.